didn't get it? All right. Well,
All right, folks. In a recent Gleaner article, consultant neurosurgeon Dr. Roger Hunter made some controversial comments about COVID-19. I'm not certain if he thought they were controversial, but other people thought it was controversial. That did not go over well with one of his colleagues and also members of the public. He joins us now to talk to us about that article. Good morning, Doctor. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. All the best for the season.
And to you, sir. I hope you are well and your family.
Well, I give thanks, indeed. Morning, Simone.
morning.
I said you're a consultant neurosurgeon. Some people might say, well, he's not an expert at diseases. So let's start there. What would you respond to that?
Well, I'd certainly not be too distracted by that. As a medical doctor, you are trained in a range of diseases. And particularly to where you're trained, you become trained in conditions, diseases that are peculiar to your environment where you're most likely to practice. So in Jamaica and the Caribbean, there are a lot of viruses, and every medical student who is trained in this area recognize the preponderance of viruses. So when I was in my years, over 20 odd years ago as a student, in fact, when I started it probably 30 years ago, HIV was a virus that was wreaking havoc on Jamaica and the Caribbean, and as I dare say, the rest of the world. We had another virus called HIV, by the way, is called HTLV3, but we had HTLV1 and HTLV2. Both those viruses, particularly HTLV1, is endemic in Jamaica, and Jamaica was actually a viral powerhouse. So we had people who are the leaders of thoughts and viruses regularly came to Jamaica. I was privileged to see some of them. Bob Gallo, he came to Jamaica as a medical student. We saw him talk. This was normal. So you don't have to be a
Epidemiologist.
Epidemiologist. Everybody can know that. Listen,
All right. Fair enough.
I'm sure it was not the epidemiologist in China who brought it to the world that there was something happening in China just a little over a year ago.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I want to ensure that they quoted you correctly, and you are not impressed with the way the government, the ministry, been handling this pandemic. Is that a fair statement?
I must be honest to myself. I have given them a big failing grade, extreme F. It's a simple reason. It's absolute hysteria. Once we knew that the type of virus this was, it's a coronavirus level. It's not dengue, it's not Ebola. This is coronavirus. Once you knew it was a coronavirus, this is a winter virus, a cold-loving virus. A cold-loving virus is not going to wreak havoc on the hot countries if these countries remain hot all year round. Jamaica is hot all year round.
But Doc, why do you say this is a cold-loving? I know the experts in the States have said it will thrive more in the winter because people are more indoors and so on. But why do you say it's a cold? Because we see warmer climes where the numbers are also high. So why do you say it's a cold-loving virus?
A good question, Simone. It is a cold-loving virus because that's how by nature, how it is. It disintegrates in the heat. If you look at the vaccine, which is always made in the likeness of the virus, if even at 0 degrees Celsius, the vaccine will disintegrate. You have to keep it sub-zero. There's no part of Jamaica that goes down to 10 degrees Celsius, much less 0 degrees Celsius, much less sub-zero. This is a cold winter virus. And the experts in the States, they are now saying, oh my God, this is going to be a bleak winter. To your point about warm, the warmth has to be warm all year round, not just warm at segments in the year. The fact that you're warm at particular segments in the year and then you're cold later on supports the whole concept of this virus. That if you look at New York and California in the summer, the numbers were low. If you look at Australia right now, Simone, Australia has lifted the mask mandate. They have lifted the mask mandate so people can go out without masks. Why? Because they're having a very, very hot summer. Now, Germany, who is now having a terrible winter, UK, they've all canceled Christmas. because they're in the midst of winter.
Right.
We have to recognize that coronavirus is a winter virus.
So Doc, are you
and
saying
thrives in the cold?
Are you
or
saying the
cool.
CDC and the experts in the States have it wrong with the mask guidance? And you're saying, I don't even want to say it because I don't.
Let me just say it for you. Dr. Fauci was caught in the summer. Not caught, he was spotted in the summer, not wearing his mask at a summer gathering, Simone.
That doesn't make it right, Doc, and it doesn't mean that he was doing the right thing.
In other words, the risk, Simone, is very low in the summer hot. So there's low.
But what?
Australia has removed their mask mandate right now.
Right.
They've removed it.
They probably removed the mask mandate, but they're not saying that people shouldn't. They're probably not still encouraging people not to wear their masks. I hear you say the numbers were low in the summer. Comparatively, they were lower. But are you against a mask? Encouraging folks to wear their masks? You don't believe that we need to do that here?
I'm against criminalizing masks. I'm 100% against criminalizing masks. For the past 7 years, I've seen market truck people take goods to the Coronation Market. You have 20 people in the back of the truck, side by side, no mask, and they're fine. These are right through February to now, they're totally fine. They're not dead. The fact is, to try and criminalize a mask, I'm sure if you ask the police officers, they certainly will not support such a draconian step. Masks can help.
What you mean when
that mask can help, but it cannot be a mandatory thing, Simone. And to say that a mask is going to effectively stop a 0.125 micrometers particle, it's not going to stop it. I mean, I've seen my colleague wear face shield, face mask, social distance, sanitize, and still end up with coronavirus.
Dr. Hunter, sorry to jump in, sir, but what do you mean by you don't want to criminalize masks? What do you mean by that?
No, I mean that we should not criminalize not wearing a mask.
Okay.
Okay. So let me ask you, Doc. You say you see your colleagues who wear the PPE and they still get it. I'm not sure how frequent those instances are, but don't you think they have a better chance of not getting it if they are properly protected?
Let me tell you how to properly protect yourself against corona, Simone. And you need to hear this, okay? You exercise, you lose weight, you control your metabolic conditions, you make your body very hostile to the coronavirus setting up and making disease inside your body. You control your cholesterol.
But Doc, I've heard the government encourage that too.
No, but that
either or.
But that message has been lost. It's been drowned out. Stay inside. My parents, 93, 83, I have to be telling them, go outside and get the sunshine. Go outside, relax, stop scaring older folk to death.
Dr. Hunter.
How many people at the Golden Age home or at the mustard seed community? I'm not hearing any mass deaths. My colleagues were pronouncing 45,000 people dead. I'm sorry.
Dr. Hunter, infectious disease expert Dr. Wilmore Webley says, and I quote, "There's been zero research that has been linked with any reduction in infection rate and temperature. The virus doesn't really care that the temperature is warm." You don't buy that?
One, I certainly reject it. Dr. Wilmore has never treated a patient in his life. He's not a medical doctor. I'm not sure how he can vaunt himself as such. He's not a clinician, and that's as far as I know. Secondly, that is not true. There's a bag of tons of studies that shows the geographic temperature distribution of the virus. Absolutely not.
So you're suggesting that we should not...
Totally disingenuous. That is absolutely not true.
Are you suggesting that we should not wear masks?
No, it's not about mask. It's about understanding that it's a winter virus. We get them every single year.
So
this is no different.
Doc, how do you explain?
2000, we are not a winter country. We are a hot country. Australia has removed masks.
How do people get the virus here then, Doc? And how do we get to a stage of community spread?
Understand, Simone, there's a difference between getting the virus and getting sick. We all get the virus. 70% of us will eventually get the virus. But the majority of us will never know. The chief medical officer, when she was quoted recently, I think on Friday, she said that what they project to the public in terms of infections, positive infections, is just a snapshot, a trend. People in the ministry estimate over 100, if not 500,000 Jamaicans have gotten the virus by now. And, Dr. I forgot his name, but from the Global Viral Network, which Bob Gallo established, emphasized to Jamaica that we need to know how many Jamaicans truly have had coronavirus. Because all those who have had coronavirus and not become sick from it, which is the majority, do not need a vaccine. We do not need to be planning on vaccinating someone who already had the coronavirus. Now, if according to the ministry projections that hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans have already got coronavirus, why are we buying hundreds of thousands of vaccines? These have real implications for policy and for the public purse. But come back to your point, we will get it, Simone. We always got it. We always got the winter virus. We have one of the strongest tourism products in the world. Right now, hotel rooms are overbooked. And I was kind of taken aback that there was a suggestion that that was a bad thing, that we have to, the hotels are they are the source, they are the source. But there's community spread. We don't need tourists to spread this virus. We always spread winter viruses every winter.
All right, Doctor, we have to go. Whether we agree or not, I appreciate your passion.
One more thing I could just answer quickly. I'll just say it quickly. I saw a 13-year-old on Friday. She's 97% blind. She gained 10 pounds in this lockdown. Her condition is so sensitive that even gaining 1 pound, she's 97% blind. Now, our children have been locked down at home for months, 3 school terms. There's some kids who have neither face-to-face nor online. They simply don't have the resources. We need to get more schools, our children back into education, and sports needs to start again, because we know that the sport players, they're so fit. They're so metabolically fit. They will get coronavirus, but they certainly won't die from coronavirus.
All the very best to you and your family for the holidays, sir. Thank you so much.
Keep well.
All right.
Keep fit.
Take care of yourself. Consultant neurosurgeon, Dr. Roger Hunter. Interesting.
Well, the government has encouraged people to exercise and to stay safe. Yes, they're encouraging folks to not go out unless you have to, but they're certainly not saying don't go to your gate and get some sun. So lots of, I wish we had more time to talk to Doc some more. But as he said, he's not the only one who has that view. He's just brave enough to articulate it.
about it.
Certainly.
All right, more and smile when we come back. Stay with us, please.